morning. It's now day 7 since my hip arthroscopy. I was just going to give you a rundown on what I've been up to for the past week. The first couple of days were fine. There was the obvious stiffness down the front of the thigh and towards the groin. Quite a lot of swelling. The thigh itself would swell up actually quite quickly. Within kind of 15-20 minutes, it would get noticeably swollen. And actually what I've found is that it alters how the kneecap moves. I've been getting a little bit of maltracking, clicking in the kneecap, which I kind of expect when there's swelling down in the lower thigh area. That probably meant I was just up on my feet a bit too much. For the next couple of days after that, I intended to take it a lot easier, which I did. Unfortunately, those couple of days, I felt a little bit sick, probably to do with the anti-inflammatories that I was taking. So I only took those for 2 days. It didn't actually get painful at all, not even at the start. So it wasn't that much of a bother to stop the anti-inflammatories. When I did stop them, it got a little stiffer, but nothing too crazy. So by day 5, it actually felt really good. I have been using the exercise bike more or less every day since the operation was done. That hasn't caused any ill effect whatsoever. The one thing I did find that was a little bit awkward was flexing the hip. When I would do that, it just felt heavy. The leg itself felt very heavy, and still does feel a little bit in the heavy side, a little bit in the weak side, the hip flexor, but that will gradually improve in time. Use the crutches. Used 2 crutches for about 4 days, and then went down onto 1 crutch just when I'd be up and about for about another 2 or 3 days. I haven't used them at all today. I find there's a little bit of a limp there. Just finding that flexing the hip from an extended position just feels a bit weak. It's not painful. It's not really all that stiff. It just feels a little bit in the weak side, so I don't really want to push that too much. But I'll start to get that going over this next week going forward. This afternoon I intend to get out onto the bike for the first time since the operation. The plan going forward for this next week is to try to get out onto the road, onto the mountain bike, but out on the road, just to keep it nice and slow. Not going to go at any great pace. I've kind of thought up a route that will take me around. It's about 7 or 8 kilometers long. I'm not too sure how long it'll take me. I'm not too sure if I'm even going to do all of it, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. After another couple of days, I'm going to try and get into the pool. Going to take the stitches out tomorrow. Haven't looked at them yet. I've just kept the same dressing on that was there whenever I left the hospital. It's still completely clean and dry, and it's not peeling off on the outside, so that should be perfect. I was able to shower away with it on, pat it dry afterwards, and it doesn't seem to have leaked at all. So that's always a good thing. We'll see how the wounds are when I take the stitches out tomorrow. Welcome back. It now is day 7 since my hip arthroscopy. I was out today on the bike for the first time. Ended up doing about 7-8 kilometers, something like that. Nothing too crazy, and hopefully shouldn't be too sore tomorrow. At the moment, feels fine. Feels good actually. There's a little bit of tightness running down, couple of inches down from the inner cut down the front of the thigh, actually along where the femoral nerve would pass down underneath your quadriceps. I was kind of expecting that to be the case, just from what other people have told me in the past. So hopefully that'll gradually loosen off. I don't expect it to loosen off anytime soon. As the inside of the hip heals a bit more, I think it'll get times where it is stiffer, and it'll also probably depend on what types of exercise I do as well. But at the moment, it feels fine. Was out. It took me about 20 minutes to do the cycle around. So it wasn't going too crazy. It wasn't going too fast or anything. And yeah, like I said, it feels good. It doesn't feel painful at all.